Well, hello, church family. My name is Pastor Ryan, and we are doing a recap of our Life Together study. We've been at this a few weeks, and some people were unable to attend when we covered Chapter 2, The Day with Others. Now, in all reality, we covered pages 40 through 44 in this book, Life Together. And so this is a brief recap. It starts the day's beginning, and Dr. Bonhoeffer is talking about how we ought to begin the day. And he says that the early morning belongs to the church of the risen Christ. At the break of light, it remembers the morning on which death and sin lay prostrate in defeat, and new life and salvation were given to mankind. So he begins by saying, listen, when Jesus rose from the dead, he conquered the grave. He later quotes Ephesians, which says, "Wake up a sleeper, rise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you." He does a lot of quoting of Scripture. The Psalms, he goes to a lot and talks about how holy people of God begin their day in praise, begin their day seeking God's face. And he says it's good to begin the day with joy and with anticipation for what God does. He says we should begin the day with worship. He says something really hard on verse 43. For Christians, the beginning of the day should not be burdened and oppressed with the besetting concerns for the day's work. At the threshold of a new day stands the Lord who made it all. All the darkness and distraction of the dreams of night retreat before the clear light of Jesus Christ and his wakening word. So he calls Christians to wake up every day offering a word of praise to God. And I think that is an excellent way to begin each day. All too often we begin our days exactly how he says we shouldn't, with our concerns for the day. What do we need to do? What's on our to-do list? And that might be after we've groggily awoken. Some people wake up like this, sometimes we don't. But many of us probably begin with all of our concerns instead of beginning with praise. But I agree with Dr. Bonhoeffer. We should begin with praise. We should be greeting each day as an opportunity, as a chance to say, where are you serving? Or where can I serve you, Lord? For all too often, we think that life is ours to live instead of a gift that we live in reaction to God. And so I encouraged us all to begin our days for a week in praise. At the time, I forgot that this upcoming Wednesday is Ash Wednesday. And so I guess we're going to have to do that for 2 weeks. If you were unable to attend, then that's the main point. Beginning the day with praise. Starting off not with our own concerns, but seeking how we can serve God. And he encouraged common devotions. And he talked about in those common devotions having a word of scripture, the hymns of the church, and a prayer of the fellowship. And then the next 3 sections in chapter 2 will be devoted to those 3 concepts: the word of the scripture, the hymns of the church, and the prayer of the fellowship. He'll also go into a bit of what the Psalter is and how that can be used. We will cover those in upcoming weeks. We did not cover those on Wednesday night. So, if you were unable to attend, it was a phenomenal discussion, and you did miss out on it. But if I were to summarize it all, this is how I would summarize it. Begin with praise, begin the day with celebration, begin the day with anticipation, seeking God's face to see what God can do. May you do that this week, I pray. God bless, and hopefully we'll see you at the next study.